The mansion's iron gates creaked open slowly. The evening sun bathed the courtyard in crimson, as the golden heirloom crown reflected off the stone floor, dazzling the eye. Kofi and Tunde stepped into the night that would seal their fate. Once playful brothers under the same roof, now stood divided by a cold wall. Their father's death had turned them into strangers. Their father's voice echoed from an old recording. "Only one shall take the throne." The words reverberated through the hall, crashing like a boulder onto Kofi and Tunde's hearts. Kofi broke the silence first. With a cold smirk, he said, "Ready, little brother?" Tunde only nodded. Words were useless. Mr. Diallo, the family's loyal advisor, stepped forward slowly. "Only one will survive till morning. The rules are clear," he said, his eyes carrying a shadow of sorrow. Kofi withdrew to the corner of the room. His eyes gleamed as he crafted a plan. Deceive Tunde and survive the night. He quietly approached the liquor table. Tunde sensed something was off. His eyes narrowed. He felt it in his bones. This night wasn't just about power, it was about survival. In childhood, Kofi had always been one step ahead, casting a shadow over Tunde. Tonight, that shadow returned. Kofi approached Tunde with 2 glasses on a silver tray. "Shall we let the past go?" he said, with fake warmth. Tunde reached for the glass, but paused. His instincts screamed, everything about this night was a lie. Kofi clenched his jaw in tension. His entire plan depended on earning Tunde's trust. If he failed, it was all over. Tunde pushed the glass away. "I'm not drinking," he said coldly. For a moment, disappointment flashed across Kofi's eyes. Kofi knew he had to change plans. It was no longer about persuasion. It was time for force. He quietly reached for the dagger hidden in his coat. Outside, the mansion's pool lay still like glass, as if waiting for a storm. It was the perfect stage for purity to be shattered. Tunde lunged for Kofi's pocket in a sudden move. The brothers grappled briefly, their scuffle echoing through the mansion's silence. Tunde broke free from Kofi's grip and ran toward the pool. His face burned with a mix of fear and rage. There was no turning back now. Amina emerged from the shadows. Running toward Tunde, she shouted, "The drink is poisoned! Don't touch it!" Tunde froze. The panic in Kofi's eyes confirmed every suspicion. This wasn't just sibling rivalry, this was betrayal. The brothers stood face to face by the pool. Their eyes held no memories of brotherhood, only raw ambition and anger. Kofi took a step forward. "I never wanted this," he said, voice cracking, but Tunde's eyes held no forgiveness. Kofi collapsed. His hands hit the ground. This wasn't just about the throne anymore, he was fighting for his pride. A battle raged within Tunde. Seeing his brother, once his partner in laughter, crawling on the ground. Was this victory? Kofi smirked through bloodied lips. "How far will you go, brother?" he said, words like needles. They lost balance and plunged into the water. Between flying droplets, the night welcomed them with a frozen shock. Their bodies tangled below the surface, punches, kicks. Each blow erased more of the love they once shared. Tunde surfaced first, gasping for air. Kofi was still missing beneath. Tunde's eyes scanned the pool in panic. Kofi finally surfaced, but his hands were empty. All he carried now was hatred. This time, Tunde didn't run. Love had long turned into deep disappointment. He raised his fist again. Kofi sank, his pride, his plan, now just dreams drowning beneath. Tunde's eyes filled with tears. Only ripples remained. Time froze. The night sealed the brothers' story in silence. Amina had seen it all from afar. She screamed, but her voice was swallowed by the mansion's stone walls. For a moment, Tunde saw a shadow, his father, watching silently. He blinked. Gone. Just a memory. Tunde knelt by the pool. He had won, but at what cost? His heart felt empty, his soul wounded. The pool water had tinged red. Tonight, not just an heir was chosen, a brother was lost. Narrator voice. If you enjoyed this intense story, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. Tunde stepped into the mansion's grand hall. The golden crown still sat there, but victory no longer gleamed. It hung on his neck like a heavy chain. Tunde stepped into the mansion's grand hall. The golden crown still sat there, but victory no longer gleamed. It hung on his neck like a heavy chain. He buried his face in his hands. Did I really want this? He asked himself. The silence gave no answer. His mind wandered to their childhood, that hot summer day, splashing water by the pool, laughing as brothers. Tunde shut his eyes tight. There was no return. No laugh from the past could erase today's pain. Amina entered the hall quietly. Her eyes were full. She looked at Tunde, but both knew. Some things words can't express. The grand hall now felt like a tomb. The price of power was silence and absence. The air held the scent of dried blood and old stone. Tonight, not just a brother had died. Innocence had too. Tunde removed the crown. He weighed it in his hands. It didn't feel like gold. It felt forged from the weight of the past. Narrator voice. If you want more stories filled with raw emotion, make sure to subscribe and support the channel. Tunde walked out of the mansion. Everything behind him was now just memory. His eyes stared toward the horizon. The sun was rising. A new beginning, but with old wounds. Tunde walked into the morning. The kingdom was his, but his heart was hollow. Narrator voice. One thing we've learned from top channels, emotional climaxes stick with the audience. Narrator voice. Lesson 2. Controversial decisions invite comments. Join the conversation. Narrator voice. Third lesson. Strong visual symbols, like a golden crown or blood and water, leave lasting impressions. The pool water stood still. What happened that night sank beneath its surface. Only the stars knew the truth. The mansion stood empty. Only stones, memories, and silence remained. Tunde looked far ahead. A kingdom awaited, but so did the loneliness. Was Tunde justified in killing his brother? Was it justice or revenge? Let's talk in the comments. Was Kofi's plan driven by their father's pressure or his own ambition? What do you think? Is harming your sibling ever okay for family legacy? Share your thoughts below. Narrator voice. Thanks for watching Blood Between Brothers. We'll see you in the next story. Old photos, shattered glass, unfinished lives. The mansion held quiet witnesses. A new king, but the same tale. Greed, loss, and loneliness would echo through these walls forever. The night retreated, taking its secrets with it. Only the wind whispered of days gone by. This whole story ends with a question. What is true victory? Narrator voice. I want to hear from you. Whose side are you on? Tunde or Kofi? Subscribe and join the discussion.